Hello everyone and welcome to World History Honors. My name is Ms. Fleites. I'm so sorry that we couldn't meet in person for open house, but I'm glad we're able to communicate this way. Hopefully I will answer any questions that you may have. If not, you can always email me. So first I have my contact information. I have my email listed. If you ever have any questions, please don't be afraid to email me. I'm always on my email. I also have my phone number listed with the extension to my room, and my office hours are 7:30 to 3:30 p.m. So if you ever do need to call me, it would be better if you could call me in the morning before school starts, but you can email me at any time throughout the whole day. So a little bit about me. I'm a New York native. I was born in Long Island and I moved to Brevard County in 2004. I went through the Brevard education system. I went to Manatee Elementary the first year that it opened. I was in 4th grade. There was nothing in Viera at the time, so I really saw Viera blossom from the very beginning. I went to McNair Middle School, and then I also went here to Viera High School. I think I was like the 4th graduating class from Viera High School. I graduated in 2012, and after I graduated from Viera, I went to UCF and I got my degree in secondary social science education. When I started applying for teaching jobs, I never thought that I would be teaching at the high school that I went to, but I had such an amazing experience as a student when I was here at Viera that it was such a great opportunity for me, and I loved the community that I was so excited to take this position. I've been teaching here at Viera High School for 3 years now, and I teach World History Honors, and then I also teach AP Human Geography. So if any of your students are taking AP Human Geography next semester, I will be their teacher again. So some of the topics discussed in world history this semester, the Byzantine Empire, which we already finished, and we did our test with block schedule this year. The chapters go by really quickly because we're going over all of this content before, Christmas, right? Western Europe, the Middle Ages, that's the chapter that we're in right now. Their test is coming up on September 15th. So just so that you're aware from that, we'll also be going over Islam, Africa and Asia, Renaissance, Reformation, Scientific Revolution, Absolutism, all the way to the Second World War and the Holocaust. I always tell the kids world history is the best history because we're looking at things that they maybe never learned before. They never really took a world history class before. They did a lot of US history, they did a lot of civics or government classes, but this class we really look at things in a different perspective, different cultures, different traditions. So I think most kids find it interesting to look at and learn about things that they never really heard before in their other classes. And I hope they're enjoying it. So Google Classroom, all the students are already signed up on Google Classroom, and I have a code for each class. Usually only the students are allowed to join because you need a school email to join. The kids can only go on using their school email. But if you as a parent would like to join, you could request access and I could allow you in. Google Classroom, I post all of the assignments for class, all of the homework. I even post if I do lectures, PowerPoints, reading activities, videos that we watched in class, whatever we do in class that day, I post everything on Google Classroom. So for example, PowerPoints when I do lectures, if I'm going too fast or they have to go back and they didn't really get the last bullet point on one of the slides, they can always refer back to Google Classroom and it's all right there. Or even if they're absent, whatever they missed that day is always going to be on Google Classroom. Now my e-learning students, the third section, the e-learning students will submit all assignments on Google Classroom. My in-class students, I make paper copies for them, simply because I don't have a classroom set of laptops and we can't do stuff online every single day. So my e-learning students, I make an online version of that same exact paper copy that I have for the kids in class. I make that online version for them to complete and submit on Google Classroom. My students who are in class do not have to complete the Google Classroom assignment because they're doing a paper copy version of it. My biggest issue that I've come across these past 2.5 weeks so far, I just want to ensure that my e-learning students are submitting their online work within their class period. So my in-class students have that 90-minute class period to submit whatever assignment, and it's due at the end of class. I was having a lot of e-learning students turning it in later that night, later the next day, or even 2 days later. So it's supposed to be a live class instruction, so I just want to make sure that the e-learning students are turning in their assignments during their class period when I say that it's due. Some students have to take their assignments home for homework, and that's fine. So the latest that I will take it is 11:59 p.m. and I put that on the due date for Google Classroom. And again, in-class students, some things will be on Google Classroom, most things will be paper, but I always have an online version and a paper version. And like I said, they have to use their school email to do any Google products. So Reminds, most of the kids in class are set up with Reminds. It's a texting app that's used through the school so that I can text and communicate with the students. So they text this number 81010, and then in the text box they put the code which joins that class, either if they're in period or block 1, 3, or 4. And through this number, I can send a mass text to the class, and I can say, remember your test is tomorrow, or remember the vocab is due tomorrow. Or even the students can text me individually. It doesn't go to the mass text if they have any questions. And most kids today are too afraid to type up an email because they feel like it's too formal, and they're more comfortable texting. So it's really easy for them to text me and say, hey, Miss Fleites, what was the format for the paragraph again? How many sentences did we need? Any questions that they have for me, they can text me that on Reminds. So I always recommend or suggest, if parents want to join my Reminds, they can. Just make sure you join for your classes or your students' class period. That way you can get the mass text, so you will also get a text and know when your child has an assignment due, or when your child has a test, you'll be informed in that. Or even if you would just rather text me and communicate with me that way rather than sending me an email, it's really, really simple, and it's a really great tool to help keep them on track. So supplies and just some basic rules, kind of just going over not going into super detail what I did on syllabus day, but just some simple things that I wanted to keep you guys informed with. So basic rules is be respectful when using technology in class, because I am allowing them to use phones, or if they bring laptops, to use as a resource with certain activities, because we can't do as many group activities, so we are doing some online resources. So just, I am allowing you to use your phone or your laptop for certain activities, then make sure you're only using it for that educational purpose and not on social media. And they've been really great with that. Another thing for the Zoom students, just make sure you log in at least 2 or 3 minutes before. I've had a couple students logging on, 10 minutes after class starts, and I understand there are technical difficulties, but just try to make sure you log on maybe 5 minutes before. That way you can get things worked out by the time class starts. Supplies, they just need a spiral notebook, 1-inch binder, and pencils. They all have that. They've all been really good. I think some people still need a binder just to keep their papers organized, so all their papers don't end up at the bottom of their bag. Optional, if they have laptops that they want to bring to school, they can definitely use them. Hand sanitizers, tissue, disinfectant wipes. If they want to wipe down their desk before they come in, they can totally do that. Focus will only be used to post grades. I do not post assignments on Focus. All of my assignments are posted on Google Classroom. For the e-learning students, they will take their test on Google Classroom. I have a Google form that I give them, and I post that test on Google Classroom during their class period to complete. So I will not post any assignment notification on Google Classroom. Assignments will be, or on Focus, assignments will be on Google Classroom, and notifications will be through Reminds. Focus will only be for grades. Best way to contact me is through email or Reminds. You can email me through Focus and I will get it, but I'm more on my email, or I have my phone out if anybody needs to text me with questions, especially my e-learning students. So for absent students, I have all of the assignments for the day posted on Google Classroom, and there are Zoom links on Google Classroom that you can watch the live stream of me in class. So if you stay home from school, you have everything that you need right in front of you. So I'm still going to expect your assignments to be turned in that day, unless there's an extenuating circumstance. So if the student is truly, truly sick and really doesn't feel well and can't watch the live stream, then just have the parents email me and we can adjust the due date, and that's not a big deal. I understand there are a lot of different circumstances, but everything is available for you if you are able to watch the live stream. The in-class students that aren't used to using Zoom so much, so if you go on my Google Classroom, you go to the classwork tab and scroll down. I have every chapter in a folder, so it's very organized. At the bottom, I have Zoom links as a folder. It's the same Zoom link for the whole semester. I have one Zoom link for Mondays through Thursdays, and then I have another Zoom link specifically for Fridays, just because Fridays, it's an early release day, so the times are different. Late work policy, students who turn in late work will lose 10% every day that it's late, but I always say some points are better than no points. So even if you turned it in 5 days late, a 50% is way better than a 0%. For my in-class students, I have a no-name wall of shame that I hang papers up that if you do not have your name on it, I can't grade it. I don't know who to give credit to, so I put it up on that wall. So if you have a 0 for an assignment in Focus and you say, well, I know I did it, I know I turned it in, why do I have a 0? It's most likely on the no-name wall of shame. So just come into class, look on the no-name wall. If your paper's there, write your name on it, give it to me, but that late work will apply. So if you find it on the no-name wall 2 days later, that'll be 20% late. Some classwork policies and procedures that I just wanted to keep you informed with. For their notebooks, they're going to be writing their bell work when they come in every day and taking lecture notes. Bell work and lecture notes have to be handwritten even for e-learners, and I do notebook checks. So they will be random. They will be worth 5 points. I'm going to pick 5 random things in their notebooks. I'm not going to check all their notes, but I may say, show me your bullet point about Justinian's Code. Show me your bell work from August 28th. And you have to show me those 5 things. With e-learning kids or with in-class kids, I just go around the room. E-learning kids, I'm going to post the announcement on Google Classroom, and I will text them on Reminds the 5 things that I'm looking for, and they'll just take a picture of their notes and text it to me in Remind, or take a picture of whatever I ask for, and they can email it me if they don't want to send it to me on Remind. Vocab is also going to be handwritten, so for my e-learning students, when the vocab is due, I need them to take a picture of it, either text it to me on Remind or email it to me. Other than that, for e-learning, those are the only things that have to be handwritten. Everything else will have an online version for you to complete. Some apps that I think the students should download on their phone or their laptop. One, Remind. You can download the app or it'll just send to you like a regular text message. 2, they should 100% have the Google Classroom app on their phone because they're going to need to be checking Google Classroom every single day. They can download Google Docs, have Google Drive to save and complete documents. It's really compatible with Google Classroom, and it makes just editing and submitting assignments really easy. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. I've had a great couple weeks so far with your students in class. I really enjoyed it. I hope they enjoyed the class. I hope they're learning a lot. But I'm really optimistic about this school year. There were a lot of technical issues that I know we're all working on together, and we're all really trying to be considerate of technical issues, and we're being very understanding. But please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or if you have any concerns. Sign up for Reminds if you want to be updated on certain things. But that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.